Hey, what's going on? I just noticed a comment. Somebody wanted me to show them the settings of the TM-2 and how my bass drum is set up. I switched from a DM5 to a TD20, but now I use the TM-2 mostly because I don't need a unit that expensive when I'm playing a live show if I'm only triggering my kick, and it's just something else that could break or I drop it or something like that. The TM-2 is a relatively inexpensive unit, and it also has a feature of uploading my own wave file, which is awesome. All right, the first thing you're going to want to do is go through, hit your trigger pad, and select what instrument you'd like to use. Just for ease of use, we'll use this one. It really doesn't matter now. The other thing you're going to want to do is tighten your bass drum skin and fill it full of blankets or pillows. You don't want to have the skin actually vibrating from the airflow or from being set off from other drums. After you have your bass drum set up and you have a sample you don't mind the sound of, if you hit Shift, Instrument, it brings you into the trigger settings. From here, I will hit the plus. Now you can select your input, the type of trigger. I'm actually using a D-drum trigger, but the Roland 10K seems to work fine. Now here's the settings that you really need to worry about. Don't copy mine. Actually go through and try and set your own, because everyone's bass drum is different, everyone's style of playing is different. The first thing is the sensitivity is the most important one to set up. Basically, have it so your lightest hits will trigger. If you're a really hard hitter, you can turn your sensitivity down. If you're a really light hitter, you may want to turn it up. Due to the fact that I do the double strokes, the second hit sometimes is a little softer, so mine is fairly high. You can just adjust it like this. All right, the next setting you want to set up is the threshold. If your threshold is too low, things like hitting your tom, your snare, having an amp in the room, for me, a lot of the time having a monitor beside the drum kit will send out, when I hit the bass drum, now the monitor has played that noise, the vibrations will actually set the trigger off again, and then it goes in a loop, and it goes, and it sounds terrible. So what you can do is you can turn the threshold up a bit, but if you go too high, all of a sudden your hits have to be a lot harder to hit it. If you have this thing all the way up, once again, if you're a hard hitter, not a problem. Too high, it's not triggering. So I would have to dial it back. There you go. This is a good feature if you want to stop double triggers or other things in the room, toms, etc. Now is the curve. This is the velocity. Now the curve setting is to basically choose how hard of a hit you need to produce how hard of a sample. If you're a light hitter and you want to sound like you're hitting harder, you could go loud. If you want full dynamics, you would go to linear. For death metal, I like to have this thing as maxed out as I can. Retrig cancel is the amount of time between two trigger hits. Basically between, and if this is set too high and you're playing fast double kick, some of your hits may get missed. I noticed the other day doing heel toe, playing as fast as I could, a couple of the hits weren't registering. So I checked all my settings and noticed this was quite a bit higher. I've lowered this and I'm not having any double triggering issues, so it's not a problem. If you're hitting it and you're getting double triggers, this is one way to eliminate it. Just be careful if you're playing fast and you notice some of your hits aren't coming through. Rim gain I don't use, neither with the HR adjust. Crosstalk is if you're triggering multiple drums, it'll eliminate the other drum from triggering this drum. Mine's at the default settings. Now that our trigger is set up how we want, we will go into the instrument settings. Hit instrument, level. I usually have this at 100, just because death metal, you want it full volume. Next we have dynamics. Linear is like playing a regular bass drum. Each one of these gets it more intense, like you're hitting harder. And we go to max here, and that eliminates all dynamics from this instrument. For death metal, this is perfect, doing the heel toe or really fast bass drum runs. But as you will see, zero dynamics, everything is 100%. The pitch adjusts the pitch of the drum. I leave this at default on my own wave file. Center pan. And that is pretty much it for the settings. You can add effects like reverb, what room you're in, how long the reverb lasts, delay, filters. There's a lot of features in here that I do not use most of them. I uploaded my own wave file here. And the main settings you want to worry about are the trigger setup. And you would go to the sensitivity, threshold are the two most important settings. Now don't just copy my settings. If you hit harder, you hit lighter, your settings are going to be different. Same with the skin you have on your drum, the size of your drum, everything matters. You can use someone else's settings as a starting point, that's not bad, but if you start having double triggers or missed hits, you would adjust as according.